Hello and welcome to the holiday edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Ian Graham.
And I'm Nick Swiden. To start the show, Ian and I report on an issue that's been a concern across the district.
With a 7% rise in high school e-cigarette use reported in 2019 by the Department of Health, it's indisputable that vaping is on the rise with no signs of stopping. The Blue Valley School District has taken measures to curb what can only be called a pandemic.
It was at a PTA parent meeting, and the parents were talking about it, both in terms of students having access to it, but then also that it's happening in our classrooms. It was really difficult bathrooms to detect and that sort of thing. That's really when I became aware that it was more than just a passing interest of students and that sort of thing. From that, then our principals really started talking about the amount of time that they were utilizing and the kind of the institutional energy that was being put forth to deal with various aspects of the vaping.
The Blue Valley administration has since decided that the vaping issue is serious and has a negative effect on education.
Students, if they're vaping in school, are doing it, obviously most likely not in class, but leaving class to go do it. So, I mean, there's that direct implication, but also, obviously if a student got caught doing that at school, there's consequences that lead them to not being in school for a few days, which while they still have opportunities to make up their work, I mean, anytime you're missing instruction in class, that probably has a negative academic consequence. It was treated a lot like a tobacco product, so like if somebody would have been caught with a cigarette or something like that, which had a different type of set of consequences. So it's definitely amped up in terms of how a school handles a student caught vaping. The typical protocol of, obviously there's an out-of-school suspension involved with that. There's an educational program called Aspire that we look to provide students and their families with, getting more knowledge about vaping. And with the completion of that program, we typically look at a reduction of the out-of-school time.
To educate students who were found vaping, the district partnered with MD Anderson Cancer Center to use a program called Aspire.
It's module-based, meaning that you go through various pieces of the information in modules. After each module, there is questions that are asked and then, of course, answered. Our administrators can see the completion, kind of like a Canvas course, if you will. So you can kind of see the completion of it. And it's built to do two things: to raise the level of awareness about what you're actually putting into your body, and then educate you on what are the both immediate and long-term effects.
There's just so much more nicotine than people realize in some of these pods, etc., that it's mostly when they've been laced or if they've got the fruit flavored variety that maybe other additives have been added to it. Because there's a lot of volatile compounds that are included in these vaping devices that we do know have toxic effects, and I don't think that people realize that. The young brain is still developing to about age 25. And it's really, we do know that nicotine really affects those mood swings areas, the addictive behavior areas of the brain. And so a small hit like this that has so much more nicotine can be very addictive and lead to more addictive behaviors later. And just the fact that usually people that start with one source of a nicotine end up being cigarette smokers or other addictive devices or things later, more illicit drug use.
School districts across the nation, including Blue Valley, have joined in a class action lawsuit against Juul, the leading e-cigarette company.
The lawsuit is really for two reasons. We need to raise the level of awareness about the addictive nature of this and the severity of the health issues related to it. The second is to make sure that there are resources available in future years to deal with both the education and the health-related consequences. Juul, when you take a look at what they did, because starting in about 2014, they really ramped it up in 2015, they specifically targeted school-age students in their advertising, basically on social media. They've created flavors of this that appeal more to younger age students and youth rather than people that would be on a cessation program. And so those actions are deliberate. And quite honestly, Juul really needs to pay for that because they created this problem. In all my years of being in education, and this is going on 35, I've never seen anything that has captivated a certain group of young people as much as vaping has. And it's been so impactful negatively to their health in short amount of time. And the technology, it looks like a USB, a pen, a key fob, those sorts of things. I'm just like, man, we've got to get on top of this because it's not good and it's not going to get any better.
With a combination of efforts, the district hopes to see a decrease in vaping in the future. This is Ian Graham and Nick Swiden for Husky Headlines.
Hey Ian, I've been wanting to start a revolution on our Northwest government, but I don't know who to overthrow.
Well, it's funny you say that because I know a lot of our Stugo officers. I'll tell you more about these school leaders.
You see them around the school, but do you really know who they are and what they do? We interviewed some of your student government officers to get to know them.
So my responsibilities are kind of just to make sure that stuff runs smoothly and everything is getting done, helping brainstorm.
My main role is to kind of work hand in hand with the president and help her run meetings.
I really just have to sign a few things, I think, but I can also put in ideas to the class sponsor and then see if the class sponsor accepts them or not.
My day-to-day activities are taking pictures of things, going to the meetings, and trying to keep everybody in our grade informed through our social media.
I want to be able to choose if I'm full or not. So like if I eat like 3 pounds of food and then I want to keep on eating, I can just choose that I want to keep on eating, and you aren't even full.
I would have the ability to like stop time.
I would say telekinesis.
That's good.
I think it's so underrated. Just, you know, like grab the TV remote.
Building our social media and making sure that our students are informed of everything that's happening to the best of our abilities.
I just want to make graduation go really smoothly and make it really memorable for all of our seniors.
As a team, some of our goals have been to increase our social media presence and really work on building back some of our just school spirit in general.
Plan prom, decorate prom, just all of that, and we want to make it as fun and inclusive as it can be.
Vanilla Ice goes almond.
The entire series of Friends or Grey's Anatomy, all 16 or
I
whatever
choose
seasons.
the entire Star Wars.
I would probably say Carrie. Oh my god. The original.
You are so annoying.
Either the B movie or Shrek.
You know, B movie or Shrek.
Cars 2.
Ice Ice Baby, probably.
Oh my gosh, of course it is.
I've never done karaoke.
Billie Jean, Michael Jackson.
Oh, the Taylor's Love Story.
Love Story.
I don't sing. Participating has been super important in Spirit Week because you're contributing to your classes.
Come and help decorate for dances.
And also the hallways and the staircase as well.
Yeah, we have like little events where you can volunteer, and we try to communicate those out to the best you can.
You can contact us, any of your Stugo officers, or through our social media. You can just message us and we can let you know any ways that you can get involved.
I don't even know. My parents' approval.
Worship with ICBM capability.
The moon grew from Despicable Me.
I was gonna say the pyramids of Egypt, the Despicable Me too. I'm not kidding you. That is exactly what I thought.
Hopefully this has given you a better insight into the jobs and personalities of your Stugo officials. This is Ian Graham and Lily Torres for Husky Headlines.
Nick, I'm not really in the holiday spirit.
Why don't you go do some volunteering?
But where should I go?
I don't know, but Allie tells us where students go volunteer during the holiday season.
Food instability is a subject that everyone has heard of, but many do not realize how close to home the issue resides.
There is plenty of hunger in Johnson County, Kansas. We say that there are 1 in 6 kids in our whole area is hungry. And that means that they may have a meal today, but they don't know if they're going to have a meal tomorrow. You just kind of look around your classroom, you look around your neighborhood, and you think, is there somebody hungry here? Yeah, there will be somebody that's hungry in your area.
We could not do what we do without volunteers. Because of our volunteers, we can serve so many more people. Without them, we would have to hire almost 90 additional staff members. But then there's also the impact of seeing people come in and learning about how what they do impacts the community. I've had people tell me that they didn't know that there was hunger in their community. And that's where you see the biggest impact, I think, is just getting the word out that there are people who are hungry and getting more people involved in the fight against hunger.
Though the holiday season tends to be the main time that people think about giving back, the need remains all year.
Hunger happens year-round. It's not just during the holiday season when everybody thinks about giving, but you know, we need to stock our shelves year round. And all the food that comes into Harvesters is donated. And if we had to go out and buy all that food, there is no way we could do what we do.
We can start to educate people and let them know that their impact now can be just as great during the summer or later in the year or any time of year.
You'll end up going away with such a good feeling about what you did and just knowing that you have helped somebody else.
1 in 6 kids is food insecure all year long. 1 in 8 people don't know where their next meal is going to come from all year long. And we have lots of great help, but we always need more.
Volunteering during the holiday season is great, but don't forget that the need for charitable acts does not come and go with the snow. This is Allie Brenneman and Lily Torres for Husky Headlines.
Hey Ian, what do you want for the holidays?
I just want peace and love on Earth and for everyone to get along.
I just want an Xbox.
It doesn't sound like you're in the holiday spirit, Nick. I went out during school and gave more than I received.
It's the holiday season, and while we all love spreading thanks and good cheer, we know it's really about one thing: presents. Today we're going out to the students of Northwest and giving away gifts. I'm with Danny Robinson, and we got a gift for him, so here you go. What do you think's in his?
I'm not sure at all.
I'm not sure. Well, open it up.
Oh, no, sorry.
All right, so what do you think this is?
I don't know, probably a movie.
It looks like some sort of like school supplies. I don't know.
School supplies. All right, open it up. All right, so we got the big gift. All right, what do you think's in this?
Like a sweatshirt.
Sweatshirt or clothes? All right, let's open it up. All right, so what do you think's in these?
I think this is a sock. I think it's like a bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow? All right, let's open them up.
A candle or some tuna.
It says one free hug.
Can I use it now?
With me, yeah. All right, thank you so much, Danny.
Okay, it's Billy's big day.
Okay, so we got like some light up stars and then like a unicorn hat.
Billy, Bobby, and their friends played monster hide and seek. When it was Billy's turn, he covered his eyes and counted to 50.
All right.
I just got tuna.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I feel pretty great.
Oh,
it's an Angry Bird. It's an Angry Bird.
It's an Angry Bird, all right.
it's a dinosaur. No, it's a lizard.
What is that?
It's a lizard.
Oh, you put it in water and it grows.
Actually?
Yeah, look.
Oh, I'm playing with this in the bag.
You gotta keep it, that's yours.
Yo, I just got some tuna, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Marcus. Happy holidays. We're all out of gifts today, but this holiday season, make sure to be kind and give more than you receive. This is Ian Graham and Melanie Wilkins spreading holiday cheer for Husky Headlines.
Ian,
What?
you're awful at this. Don't make me get Laura Moran-Madaro to do the tech for this show. Lily tells us more about this student and her unique interest.
Sophomore Laura Moran-Madaro spends her time outside of school giving back to the community at her church in a very unique way.
The community here is very welcoming, and there's a lot of fellowship in each part of Life Church. So with Life Kids and tech and worship and with host team and everything, everyone's really just all together.
So this is a church where everyone is accepted. It doesn't matter your past, you belong here before you believe is something that we love to say. She is a part of what we call Swerve. Swerve is our students who serve. We blend that word together, and those are our Swerve students.
The Swerve program is a program where they take students from 6th grade and up to start serving in the church, and so that's just helping out with the adults and the other pastors with things like Life Kids and what I do, tech and worship. And then there's also just helping with welcoming people inside the church and bringing them food and all that stuff. When you start out, they help you a lot with just learning how to do everything. And if you're really into it, it's not something that you have to do, but it's something that you get to do. And that's why I do it so often, because it's something that I genuinely like coming here and doing.
She has now gone from being what we call a spiritual consumer to a spiritual contributor. She's now giving back to the community. And what happens is through that, a ripple effect happens, not only with our students that she's investing in and the Life Kids that she's investing in, but also in the parents and the leaders. And so people look at those Swerve students just like Laura, those capacity students, and then they get to turn around and model that. And we believe that not only is she a part of changing a church and building an atmosphere here, but really a part of changing a community.
Apart from being, like you said,
committed to Christ. I think she's also learning the Bible and also learning to be responsible, learning to juggle so many activities at once. I think that'll be good for her if she continues like that.
While she enjoys giving back, Mariam Badaro also develops new skills and friendships.
I like that I've made a lot of friends. I just learned to connect with them and just figure things out about myself.
She likes it, that's a passion, and we're also encouraging her to do that because I also believe that she has to be grounded in the Word of God.
I've learned that everybody has a different walk through life, and I like that even through doing tech and just being behind the scenes, I help other people get to grow their relationship with God, and when they see me doing tech and they connect with me, then we are able to talk and open up, and so I think that's really cool.
Developing skills for her future, Mariam Badaro plans to continue giving back to the community at Life Church. This is Lily Torres and Nathan Fortune for Husky Headlines.
And
Ian, please stop.
What? I was instrumental in bringing the choir to district ensembles.
But you're not in district choir. Allie tells us more about the students who made it into the district ensemble.
With 74 students going to district in their respective areas, the students in the Northwest Music Department work hard and have results to show for it.
We're a little bit higher than last year, which is awesome. I think that's great. Blue Valley Northwest numbers are killer. We've got to be the highest number of participants in the entire district, which is pretty amazing. We have a very arts-focused school, I think, which is a great place to be.
The reason I think we have so many students who made districts this year is we just have a really talented program. A lot of students are studying privately. It's also a competitive program with 3 different ensembles. We're the only orchestra program in Blue Valley with 3 orchestras. So there's just a lot of student competition, a lot of pride for what they do.
The success of these programs does not stop there. Within the music classrooms of Northwest, there are strong communities being built.
I think Blue Valley Northwest Music Department is such a unifying group. I think that I have a band family and I have a choir family, and they're just such welcoming people, and they want to make the team work, and I think that's what makes us really different from other schools.
Blue Valley Northwest is kind of a special place when it comes to the arts. I think if you look around, there isn't as high participation in music. We have almost 40% of the school population in either a band, orchestra, or a choir, or a combination, which is pretty amazing. And I think it has to do with that our school is really great about allowing students to participate in multiple activities and sports and things like that.
I think there's a pretty high culture of excellence around Northwest, but it's also a culture of community. I think that community, that sense of there's a place and a belonging for everyone, encourages people to audition. It encourages people to take a risk. It encourages people to grow and develop, and I think that's why our numbers are so high. A lot of times at a high school, one program will be really strong and the other 2 are average. And we have 3 exceptional programs here at Northwest, and I'm just honored to be part of the staff.
We have the most number of students in performing arts in the entire school district, and we have accomplished teachers at the helm. So when you couple that with dedicated students, you're going to have very, very strong music programs overall.
The best part of studying music at Northwest is just that I can get a break from all the academics in my day. It's honestly like a relief of stress, going into the band or orchestra room and just getting to enjoy the music that you're making.
I think the payoff for music is a lot more rewarding than the payoff for school, because for school I can do this worksheet and I get a good grade or whatever, but the payoff for music is a feeling of accomplishment. Like, I finished this and I know I did really well, and it's just something that feels really great.
Though the vast success of the music department is rewarding, the students in the music department hope that continuing with their musical studies will reap benefits in a multitude of ways. This is Allie Brenneman and Jay Oakes for Husky Headlines.
Nick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to decorate our set.
You'll never be as good as the people in the Christmas place. Melanie takes a look at this neighborhood's holiday festivities.
A tradition around the holiday season is to take a drive through the neighborhood Christmas place and gaze in awe of all the magical lights and decorations. But the history of Christmas Place in itself is something to awe of.
Christmas Place was an evolution. The neighborhood was started in 1992. In 1994, a neighbor of ours brought everyone candy canes and said, why don't we put these up at Christmas time and it'll look like Candy Cane Lane. We thought, well, that's a good idea and we should do that. So we did. That is how Christmas Place was really born. We began in 1994, and each year everybody added something to it. By 2002, it was truly Christmas Place.
Every year so far, since we've been doing this, every house does participate in some fashion. You know, some people do it up big and some people do it up smaller, but everybody puts lights up in some fashion.
We open up on Thanksgiving night, so it has to be done before then, and then we don't want to invite too many people coming in, so we don't want to do it too early. There are thousands. A lot of people come repeatedly through the neighborhood, buses and party buses and assisted living vans, and there's a lot of people.
Not only does Christmas Place light up their entire neighborhood for the holidays, but they collect donations for the Salvation Army as well.
The red kettle that you have seen in our neighborhood before is actually a kettle for the Salvation Army. My belief was that if we got even just $500 for the Salvation Army, wouldn't that be cool? Well, the first year that we did this, I think it was 7 years ago, we took in $3,400. The second year we took in money, we took in $4,300. In 2018, that one kettle, which is unmanned, it sits out in front of a tree, that one stand took in $7,820. In all, in 7 years, the magic red kettle has taken in over $40,000. And all of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds go to the Salvation Army.
It does make you feel good to know that the Christmas lights you're putting out, that really is just because you enjoy them, it's going to do something for somebody else. I mean, it's going to help somebody else that doesn't have the opportunity to have Christmas lights on their house.
During this holiday season, take a trip through Christmas Place off of Antioch and 131st Place and make a donation to the Magic Red Kettle. This is Melanie Wilkins and Seth Williams for Husky Headlines.
And now for this month's winter sports preview. Peel, banana, peel,
Ian.
peel. That was actually pretty good. You should try it for cheerleading.
I want to, but I don't think I'll make it. They did win state this year. Seth tells us more about their success.
The state cheer squad was hard at work during the early stages of summer up until November. All of their hard work paid off at state on November 23rd in Topeka when they won their first 6A title.
The girls started preparing for state in June this year, which is a lot earlier than we have in the past years. Normally they don't learn their routine until October, so we had a good 7 months of time just to practice and kind of tweak things. They learned their routine in June and performed the cheer at camp, and then we had another choreography camp at the end of July. This team, compared to the other two state squads that we've had from Northwest, seemed to have a little bit, had a little bit more drive. I think that they had kind of that next level that a lot of really good sports teams have.
Last year, the cheer squad fell a little short of the state title, finishing 7th, which ignited a spark that cemented the foundation for the team's hard work this year.
The journey to winning state was having late night practices and early practices. Everyone had to, work together to get to the main goal, and it wasn't always easy, but, the end result was getting the state title, so it was worth it.
A lot of times, because we are known to have a talented cheerleading program, they think that will carry them through, and it doesn't always carry you through. More often than not, you need to put in the work, and so I think having that experience last year really led them to have a fire this year that they weren't going to let that happen again. They weren't going to not make finals again, and they were going to come back stronger and win it. I think that People don't often think of cheering for the cheerleaders, but whenever you're doing a performance that is solely judged on how a crowd would react and having people to yell at and yell back at you, just having people there to respond to their cheer was huge. But then also, most of the arena was Northwest fans, so when they looked up into the stands, they saw familiar faces. They didn't see a bunch of fans for other Blue Valley schools or other teams in our division. It made it seem more like an assembly or a home performance than it did a big competition for a state title.
I hope that we have started a legacy and the girls know that with hard work, and even if it does seem hard, like they can do it, just keep working. So when we come back in a couple years, we'll see 3 or 4 state titles.
The cheer team was recognized on December 2nd with the state championship assembly. They say their goal is to try and repeat the same success next year. This is Seth Williams and Max Smith for Husky Headlines.
Oh my, Nick, did you know it's the end of the decade?
Yeah, that's why I'm bumping these sick 2010 jams before they become lame.
If only there was a way I could be testing my knowledge of the past 10 years.
Funny you should say that. Nathan did just that.
With the end of the decade upon us, we've gathered 2 teams to face off in a game of familial dispute. All right, so give me Declan and give me Eli.
Yeah!
All right, we surveyed 50 students. The most popular answers are on the board behind me. What is the most nostalgic movie to you of this past decade?
Nemo.
All right, let's go to the board. Nope, not on there. All right, Declan, do you have an answer?
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3, let's see. Nope, not on there. Do you guys want to pass or play?
We will play.
You'll play, okay. What's the most nostalgic movie of this past decade?
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, let's look at the board. Nope, not on there.
B-movie.
B-movie, that's a good guess. No, it's not on there.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, let's go look. No, it is not on there. We need an answer from you guys.
Well, considering none of the answers have been from this decade, which is 2010 onward, so we have answer of The Avengers.
The Avengers.
Yeah.
Let's look at the board
It's on
really
the board.
quick. See if it's on there. What do you know? It's the number 1 answer. Awesome.
So good.
Let's reveal what the other answers were. Number 2.
Frozen 6.
Very good one. Star Wars. Had some good movies this decade. They had a couple.
Wait a minute.
All right. Cars 2. What a great movie. All right.
Harry
Potter.
Potter.
They got one in. They got one in this decade. And
Megamind 2.
For round 2, I'm going to need to see Matab and I'm going to need to see Elise right up here.
Yes, sir.
What trend do you wish never died? Yes, Matab.
Uggs.
Are Uggs up there? No, Uggs are not up there.
Uggs. Okay.
Elise, give me your best answer. A trend that you wish never died.
Dabbing.
Dabbing. Let's consult the board. See if dabbing is up here anywhere. It is. What do you know? Number 4 answer. Do you guys want to pass or do you guys want to play?
Let's freaking play.
You're going to play? All right. All right, Zoe. I'm going to need you to give me a good answer here, all right?
Water bottle flipping.
Water bottle flipping. That is a good answer. Let's look at the board. No, it is not on there.
Fidget spinners?
Fidget spinners. Let's look at the board. Let's see. And it looks like that's going to be the number 2 answer. Eli, coming back around to you. Your team already has 2 of the answers up on the board. Can you get a 3rd one for them?
Vine.
Vine. Let's look at the board. Looks like that's going to be the number 3 answer.
I can't think of anything.
Can't think of any trend. Correct. Any trend. I can think of plenty of trends from this decade. Whipping.
Whipping.
Let's see if whipping's up there. Looks like that's actually going to be our number 6 answer. You're going to give me your guess for a trend you wish never died. TikTok. Let's see. Looks like TikTok's going to be right there. The number 1 answer is still covered up there on the board. Do you think you can get it?
Slime?
Slime. Let's see if slime's up there. No, believe it or not, slime is not up there. Trend from this decade that you wish never died.
Obama being president.
Obama being president. Well, I can tell you that was a trend that ended this decade. Obama being president. No, it is not up there. Do you guys have an answer as a team? You got it.
Ready?
Yep.
Yes, we decided. We do? Wait. Silly bands.
Silly bands?
Yeah. Silly bands.
Let's see if silly bands is up here anywhere.
Come on.
Looks like it's the number one. Oh. So that brings us to our third and final round. All right, give me Christian, give me Zoe, let's come up here. All right, we surveyed 50 students, top answers on the board. I need you to tell me what the most overplayed song was.
Old Town Road.
Old Town Road. Let's consult the board, see if it's up here at all. Boom, it's up there. Old Town Road, the final answer. Will you guys pass or play?
Play.
Play, okay. All right, can you tell me what the most overplayed song was this decade?
God, I'm stuck.
Let's look up there. No, it is not up there.
Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba, interesting. Let's see if it's up there. No, it is not up there. That's 2 strikes for your team.
Selfie by the Chainsmokers.
Selfie, that's a good one. Is it up there? No, it is not up there. This is to win the game.
Okay, ready?
To win the game.
We have a couple ideas, but we decided on one. Let it go.
Let it go. Yeah. Let's consult the board, see if it's up there.
Come on, baby.
No, it is not up there. It is not up there. Well, let's take a look at what the remaining answers on the board were. Looks like we got Hotline Bling. Despacito. How can you guys miss this one?
Good song.
The Middle still plays on the radio.
Yeah, that's still
just annoying. Happy. Big middle school days. And the number one most overplayed song on the radio, Call Me Maybe. That'll be the final round for Familial Dispute. It looks like you guys won the game. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Familial Dispute. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Ian, I'm sick of all these straws. I'm going to do my part to save the environment.
Nick, you should talk to the Environmental Club. Aaron tells us more about how this club helps to save the environment.
Having already succeeded in pushing for eco-friendly trays in the cafeteria, the students of the Environmental Club have focused their efforts on a new project.
The Environmental Club is a gathering of students. We strive to implement policies in the school to improve the environment. We received a $2,500 grant to improve stormwater quality. We have decided to put in a tall grass prairie, which will filter the water and make it cleaner as it runs off and goes into streams and groundwater.
When Mrs. Padani approached me to help lead this, I was really excited to do it because I want to be an environmental engineer. Basically, when water runs off of the parking lots and the concrete, it goes down into this little drainage area. We're putting in the prairie around the main storm drain in this area, and basically that's going to filtrate the runoff so that the water that actually goes into the drainage is a lot cleaner. And because that water eventually runs into the surrounding Indian Creek water system, it'll improve water quality across the area.
We put together a proposal detailing what we want to do with the prairie, how it's going to benefit students, and we took it to City Hall and we set a final review date to hopefully get it approved.
Although the project involves interaction with the school administration and city council, the club members have taken it upon themselves to put the project into motion.
I think we've had two things that I've seen a lot of student interest and independence on, working on the prairie, going out and measuring the site. It was interesting because I had a way in mind that I thought we should do it, and it had nothing to do with the way they do it, and their way was much better. Ben and Marcella complement each other. Ben can really take an idea and go with it. He has been the impetus behind measuring out the area for the prairie and having that done very, very well, whereas Marcella, I think, is more of our day-to-day leader.
We have several regular attendees that show up and help us out with a lot of the more tedious work.
Some of us are doing a little bit work outside of school. I know Ben, he's going through some aerial photographs of Northwest and he's plotting out our areas for potential future expansion.
We're putting our own twist on it. We're planning it for our school specifically. We're looking at putting in flowering plants so that they flower school colors.
I think it's really important that we have an active environmental club because I think all I have to do is listen to the news and see what's going on environmentally in the world.
With a tall grass prairie on the land, it shows that we're putting in an effort to clean up after ourselves. We make a lot of waste in a lot of different ways that can be difficult to clean up. I think this is a way for students to recognize their impact on the earth and follow up with improving their impact on the earth.
The prairie will continue to grow and filter water at Northwest for years to come. This is Aaron Avery and Nathan Fortune for Husky Headlines.
Recently, Northwest students had their art displayed in the Merriam Art Show. Imran paints a picture of this event.
With the Merriam Art Show having roughly 1,056 entries, 15 students at Northwest got accepted.
The Merriam Art Show is, we're in our 23rd year, and so what we basically do is just showcase students' art from all over. We've got 23 different high schools that submitted this year.
I think what's nice about art shows, especially when they're juried art shows for high school students, is that it allows them to see that it's very competitive. For one thing, you submit things, sometimes you get pieces in, sometimes you don't. So I think it's nice for the students to have that experience of submitting their artwork to a juried show, and then sometimes that can just be like the little confidence boost they need to go, hey, I'm getting recognized for this. I'm actually, maybe I need to think about pursuing this.
It gives them an opportunity to showcase their talents, to think that these are kind of the future artists, and so it gives them an opportunity to enter a professional art show.
I was really surprised when I found out my works were submitted because Mrs. Worth was the one who submitted them for me. I was really excited about it because I've never submitted anything to an art show. I've never really considered myself one to do that. So I think it's a new opportunity for me to see what that's like and have other people look at my work and kind of see their opinions on it.
I think as far as a student body that's outside the art department, I think sometimes they don't maybe understand the skill level or the passion that it takes for people to get to that level.
This is probably one of my favorite shows of the year because the students are so excited to see their works up on the wall in a gallery, and it's fun to see the looks on their faces, like they're so proud of their work. And then their parents a lot of times come, so it's great to see proud parents of their children, and so it's a lot of fun to see them.
I do think art shows are important for that sake of just kind of giving them that opportunity to experience something that artists out in the real world experience, just the opportunity to have your work on display and to have people from the public who wouldn't normally see your artwork be able to view it. So I think it's great. I think it's just a really nice experience. Anytime there's anybody who's getting recognition outside of school for their work, I'm always very proud of them.
I think it's a great opportunity that students have at Northwest, and I think definitely they should try and submit what they think is their best work. And even if you don't think it's good, you could be surprised with what other people think, what judges think. And I think it's good experience to put yourself out there and to get feedback on your work.
The Merriam Art Show runs December 5th to December 28th and opens from 7 to 8:30 p.m. This is Imran Bunkish and Aaron Avery for Husky Headlines.
Hey Ian, can you take off your glasses?
Sure. Why?
Lily tells us more.
With the holidays just around the corner, people tend to talk about food, family, and festivities. Husky Headlines brought in 2 teams to compete and see who can make the best pie.
Let's get it started. Pull these out. This.
All right, the champs are here. You ready?
All right, I'm ready when you're ready. All right, so first we need a large mixing bowl to get some cream cheese on them.
There we go.
We need 1 cup.
That looks like 1 cup to me.
Right.
All right.
Here we go. And a little bit more.
All I see is pre-made, looks like a pre-made Oreo crust. So it seems like something you could do on your own.
Buy at the store?
Did you not buy that at the store?
Why would we buy this at the store?
At least we're not wasting time. That was disrespectful. That was rude, but that's all right. All right.
My little feelings got hurt for a second.
All right, so we're gonna continue stirring this stuff. We just put the eggs in. Our product's coming together.
All right.
I might need a spatula.
Is that even a pie?
Get in the fridge. Yeah, should we want to make it look nice or no? It looks pretty good. We don't want it to soggy. Freezer. Quick. Get it in there, bro. Get in there.
We have great team chemistry, I told you. And then you knew what I was talking about, but you were trying to...
Mind control.
And that is how you make a winning pie.
Now let's look at what the judges have to say. The first category is looks, followed by creativity, and then taste.
All right, so let's go with look first.
I think this pie looks terrible. It looks like poop almost.
I don't know what it is. Mystery pie. We're just gonna go with it.
It looks, I'd give it a 2.
And we're gonna give this one, I don't know, I'll be nice, give it like a 4.5.
This one gets a, I don't know.
That one took a lot more effort, I can already tell.
Looks wise, 10 out of 10. That's a beautiful pie.
I'm gonna give this one a 7.
Creativity, I mean, it looks like a pretty basic pie. I don't know.
Oreos are good.
Looks like you could search up cool pie on Pinterest and you'd find that,
We'll go with the 7 here.
I'd give it like a 5.
4.5 here. I don't know.
And creativity, I'd give it a 1.
All right, here we go. Yum.
That's not a good pie.
From a teaching perspective, this was not stirred very well.
Flavor, I'd give it a 5.
Okay, taste, we're gonna go with 1. Not my favorite I've ever had.
Taste, 8 out of 10.
Taste-wise, we'll give this one an 8.
It tastes pretty good. It's a pretty good pie.
Adding up the totals from each team, the dynamic duo beats the Kansas City Chiefs with a score of 38.5 to 20. Better luck next time, boys. This was Lily Torres and Jay Oaks giving you the scoop for Husky Headlines.
To end the show, I take you behind the scenes to see what we do at Husky Headlines. You see Husky Headlines every month for 25 minutes, but have you ever wondered how much time is really put in each month for the H2 staff? The first thing we do in our show cycle is finding our story ideas. We can find story ideas in many ways, through our staff, students, and even coming up with the ideas ourselves. We then take a class period and write down all of our ideas, and pick stories that are relevant and impactful.
I'm the interview and video producer. What that means is for every interview and for all of the video that someone takes and goes to put into their story, I have to check it off, make sure it looks okay, sound quality is okay, color looks right. We have to make sure it fits the standards of headlines. Typically in our interview process, we have 2 staff members, one behind the camera, making sure the film and the audio is okay, and then one person actually interviewing, asking the questions, asking the follow-ups. That teamwork allows not only the answers to be right for what the story needs, but also for the technical components to look the way we need them to. After we filmed an interview, we bring it back, put it on our computers, and then the process of cutting it up and making a script out of it begins.
I'm the script producer, so for each story, we write out everything everyone says, VOs, interview answers, and then I look through it, make sure the flow is good. A few days later, it goes to White for her to grade them.
Once we have an idea of what to film, we go to locations related to the story and get footage. We try to get creative footage, shots from all angles, especially something unique. After everything is filmed, all the footage is put on the computer and the staff starts editing. We cut all the footage down, color correct, and add effects. The editing process takes longer than you think, with some stories being fairly simple and others, like Nathan or Jay's familial dispute, taking hours to even cut down. After stories are edited, there's a process where we review our stories. Staff members watch each other's stories and look out for problems. Once it's reviewed, the staff member who worked on the story will fix the issues that were missed. Then the executive producer watches it, and after the changes they need are made, the story is done.
I'm the executive producer, and basically what that means is I'm in charge of producing the show every month. I lead the staff, make sure everyone's on task and being productive. I also produce stories for the show, cutting up the show, filming anchors. I have the final review of all the stories before the show.
Once every month, we take a Monday night and stay after school and work on our stories. At these work nights, we generally get a lot of work done, but we also have some fun. Stop! While we're doing everything for our stories, we also film what's happening at Northwest. This means plays, sports, and anything else that we can. We use this to put together our sports segment this year, Top 10, or upload it to bvnwnews.com. Though everyone on Headlines learns how to use a camera and put together a good story, there are lessons that we take away every day.
I've learned how to work as a team, handle responsibility. The product we're producing is going to be shown to everyone. You learn communication skills. You learn how to handle responsibility and time. You learn how to work with a team. And I wish that I had taken this class sooner so that I could start developing those skills and be able to use them earlier the way I can today.
Something about this class that I think is really cool is that you don't necessarily have to be going into journalism to take it and to enjoy it, because anyone can enjoy the class, spend the time, learn the skills, because they're universal skills that the course teaches you.
Personally, I think it's really cheesy when people are like, oh, we're a family, but I think like Husky Headlines is kind of like a family because I feel really close to all the people on staff and I could go to them for anything.
Every month we work hard to put out a quality show for you to watch and have fun and learn a lot along the way. This is Nick Swiden and Imran Bangesh for Husky Headlines. And that's it for the holiday edition of Husky Headlines.
You know what, Nick? You did great this show.
Thanks, Ian. You too.
Happy holidays, and have a great rest of your day, Northwest.